Hi, this is Julian from Luminatic.com. Today I'm here with another review, another image critique, and today I'm critiquing images from Brian, who was so kind to submit 13 of his motorcycle images for me to review and give him a little feedback. Brian is new to photography, so he started riding and taking photographs of bikes in April this year, so it's just a few months. And all these images you're going to see are taken with the iPhone X, and which is a very good example here that you don't need a big camera to make good images, but you need a good eye. And the question is all about composition and lighting. Of course, with an iPhone you have to take the light which is present in the environment. You don't have any flashes or so on, but as you see, he managed quite well with these. This picture was obviously taken at the side of the road, possibly during a bike trip he did in the afternoon. And there's a very nice side portrait of this Kawasaki Ninja. Not much to say about this one. It's a clean portrait. There are a few small details which could help to improve the image, which is at first I'm going to show these tabs here. The rotation is a little off. I think Brian oriented the camera along this line here, which is the road, and to have it straight with the bike. But actually, when you look at the background, there's this windmill, the wind turbine, and this one is tilted. And this gives, to my eye, a little odd look, because you know that the windmill is straight. And so I will straighten this in Lightroom with just a small click. And from my point of view, this is a little bit more natural. Perhaps this was a little bit too much. Something like this. Yeah. This is a little bit more natural because now you see that the windmill is straight. The bike is okay. This line, of course, is now angled, but it doesn't feel unnatural to me. In the original image, I'm going to revert this back to the original. The bike is very much to the right. So in this case, I'd either center the bike in the frame, or I would take a step more back to show more of the background and have the bike be taken a little bit more to the right. But at the moment it's a little bit off the center, and this could be improved if the bike is either in the center or more to the right, with more of the environment to be seen. But anyhow, great shot. Okay, this one. Brian chose to shoot against the sky, which is supposed to be, I think it's sky before a thunderstorm, and it's a very dark purplish blue color, which gives a strong contrast with the bike. And again, side portrait. He took a low position when shooting, which is very good, because a lot of people take motorcycle pictures when they stand. And this gives you a very ordinary perspective because you are looking down. But here he kneeled down, he crouched and took the shot from a low position, which is very good. One thing I would mention here, two things. Look out for the background. You've got the bike wonderfully here, but here's the house in the background, and yeah, this takes a little bit away from the effect of the bike. It lessens the impact of the image. So either you can Photoshop this away, or you slightly shift your position, or you move the bike a little to hide the houses behind the bike, which is also possible. Another thing is, again, the horizon line. This is something that strikes me a lot. As you can see, again, this line is straight, so I think he oriented the camera according to this line. But to my personal eye, it just looks a little odd, because I like to have the horizon straight. So this looks a little bit more natural to me. But anything I say, the disclaimer I forgot to give up front, anything I'm saying is just my personal opinion. It doesn't have to mean that it's right or wrong. You can agree with it or disagree, and I'm not trying to lecture you in terms of this is wrong and this is right, but just offering ideas and thoughts. So always keep that in mind when I'm saying something about an image. This one, I like this a lot. there's green in green, and the bike fits really well into the environment. You all again took a very low perspective to shoot the bike, and I like all the lines are traversing towards the bike. So the street is optically narrowing back to the horizon, and the bike is in the center. So that's really a very clean and very nice portrait of the bike. There are two small things which could improve the image. One is to really have more impact on this depth, is because it's a very long road, and to show that it's a long road and to give the image more depth, you could just go a few meters back, like 10 or 15 meters back. Of course, the bike then is smaller in the frame, but on the other hand, the lines are really pointing towards the bike, which are they already doing now, but then it would be a little bit more prominent. Other thing is, it's not that bad. It's just me being picky. This patch here in the road is a little distracting, so I would either Photoshop it away or just move the bike a few meters back or forth to hide this from plain view. But anyhow, I like this a lot. Yeah. Also, not much to say here. I think he tweaked the colors a little on the iPhone. I don't know how you process the images, but here the green really pops. The sky, this looks a little bit over saturated, so this might be a little bit too much of the blue, but anyhow, that's not very harmful to the image, so I'm just being picky here. Only thing I'd like to mention again is look at the background. You've got these are pictures, I think, picture frames. And there's a wheel card. So this is something which just takes away a little bit of the impact. It does not draw too much attention because it's very small, but I'd prefer if this wasn't there. And actually, if you are riding with another person, it would be actually great to have a person standing here, for example, a few meters back in the background, perhaps with a helmet on or so, because pictures with people on are much more interesting to the audience, especially when you're posting to Instagram. Next one. Yes, location. Location is everything. You need a good location to shoot, and the locations we've seen are very nice, but this one, of course, is cool. It's an old, I don't know, steel mill or whatever, some industrial ruin, and that's a very classic setting for bikes. As it is often with these locations, at least in Germany, they are guarded and gated, and this one is with barbed wire gated a lot. And but anyhow, it would be cool if you could be very close to this, but okay, that's the best thing you can get. I've got the same problem too. Yeah, that's good shot. There's not much I have to say about this. Funny detail here, there's a little heart, and there's another heart. It's just the loops of the barbed wire. Okay, perhaps, there's something else. Perhaps the location is cool in terms of the background here, but you've got the green of the bike and the green of the bush here and the plants. So this is intersecting a little. And here, for example, it's also intersecting because it's the same tone or a similar green tone, but it's cool because it's green and green. Everything is green. This is something else. Here I find it a little distracting because when you look at the bike, it would stand out a little clearer if the bushes, of course, weren't here. But again, this is something you can't influence. You can't just climb over the fence and start the lawnmower and cut everything down. Sometimes you just have to work with what you've got. And under these circumstances, you did a pretty good job. Next one, this is some kind of ravine. And there are several images. And this one, I like the composition, because the bike is at approximately a third here and a third here, something a little bit like that. So the bike is very well placed. Again, low perspective, you're doing that pretty well. The part here could use a little bit more contrast and less blue. So it's a little bit too blue for me. And the contrast, because I think the sun came, no, I don't think so. I know that the sun came from this direction here, because the shadow here. And there's a small haze, so it's like a milky haze, a little bit. So with a little bit more contrast, this could be eliminated, and a little bit less blue in this region. But the rest is wonderful. It's very well done. This is actually my favorite one. I just love the composition. I just love the location. That's wonderful. The colors are good. And I like especially how the curve here, how the image is intersected into 3 parts. You've got the bottom part here, the floor, and you've got the ravine, the stone wall here. The third part is the sky. Oops. And it's all framed a little with this branch coming in. So that's really great, that image. Only thing which I would say could be done differently, I would edit out the lamp here, because this is a little bit distracting. And yeah, perfect. That's great. Just great. Also very good. It's a very clean portrait. The bike is centered. Now the bike is clearly in the center of attention. And yeah, not much to say about it. Good shot. Perhaps this part here is just white, I think. This is too bright, but then again, keep in mind this has been shot with an iPhone X, which has a great camera, no doubt, but you just don't have the that much of an option to influence the exposure. So it's basically point and shoot, very sophisticated point and shoot, but under the circumstances, again with the camera, just being on tour and just for a cell phone pic, this is outstanding. Same here. Sky is a little bit too bright. It's just white. So if this could be edited out, that the sky is not. Let's just give me a try. I'm just trying to. Let's see what the healing brush does with this one. Yeah. Okay, this is just quick and dirty, but this is a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit more balanced, because in this view. You've got the bike and it's a darker area here, and it's too bright here. And if you clone that away, it's just quick and dirty, then it looks a little bit more balanced from my point of view. But yeah, as I said, just my opinion. Oh yeah, the floor is a little bit bright, but actually I noticed only after looking 3 times, because the center of attention is clearly the bike. Next one. Same location, moved a little bit to the side. This one, yeah, that's not the strongest image in this series. Mainly because this is overblown here. You can't see the outline of the windshield. This is too bright here. This is too bright. The number plate is too bright. And composition wise, the bike is very cramped in the frame, so there is not a lot of room to the sides and to the top of the bottom, and it looks very, very narrow. So I like to say an image needs air to breathe. For example, here there is more room, so the ratio between the bike and the distance of the bike to the frame is much better here, because it's more relaxed, and this one is a little bit too tight for my taste. This one is great. I think it's the same position like here, and you just went around the bike. Could that be? The bike stands as it is, and you just moved around to the other side. Because this one is very good, because now the exposure is clearer. Here it's a little bit overblown, because you're photographing against the sun, so this is not very good. And here the contrasts are much better. The image is much sharper and clearer. It has more punch. Actually, I don't care about the trees here in the background, which grow out of the bike, in brackets, grow out of the bike. That's cool. And the image has a little bit more room to breathe. So here the distance between the wheels and the border is a little bit big, but here. Okay, already 15 minutes, so let's speed up a little. So anyhow, I like this. same here. In my opinion, you are a little bit too high here. And I don't mean smoking weed, of course. I mean the camera position is a little bit too high. And also the front wheel should be straight. And there are small things you can do. For example, take away this twig and the leaves, and yeah, it looks a little bit too casual, for my opinion. I know you chose the location because of the colorful background, but the image looks a little bit like you just slammed the bike there. You just parked there, took off went off the bike and just took an image. And I think positioning it a little bit more against the wall, not closer, but a little bit more parallel to the wall would improve the image. And if the wall is very long, and if you look along the wall, you don't see a lot of obstacles. You could also park the bike very close to the wall and shoot not facing the wall, but with the wall on the side, going down. Of course, then this has to fit. If to the left, for example, there's garbage lying around, or a parked car, then this won't work. But anyhow. Green in green. You like green in green. I already realized that, Brian. Now, that's cool. I like that you're playing with the vegetation here. So the bike is parked, and also this gives a little bit of the it looks a little bit like, I'm hiding here. You can't see me because I'm green and everything around me is green. So to wrap this up, those are very fun images, and for somebody who just started in motorcycle photography, those are great results. There is, as you noticed, not much to say about the images in terms of where you, of course, you can always improve, but what I wanted to say, sometimes I'm talking too much. I like the images, they're really good, and I would really be happy if we'd see more images of your bike, and perhaps include a person as well. So all kinds of crazy stuff is possible. So that wraps it up for today. Thank you very much for watching. And if you are interested in motorcycle photography, why not join the Motorcycle Photographers Forum? I am one of the administrators there, and we welcome photographers of any experience level. It's an international group. Everything is in English. We are posting a lot of content. I'm posting this video, for example, also on the Motorcycle Photographers Forum. You can post questions, you can interact with other motorcycle photographers. It's a place to learn and grow. It's not a place to just collect likes. That's what Instagram is for. Here, really, if you want to grow and if you want to improve your photography skills, you are welcome if you're a motorcycle photographer. And again, any skill level is welcome. If you're a beginner or just or a pro who earns his money with motorcycle photography, it doesn't matter. Just join and we'll be happy to help you. So, again, thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.